Here's a phone call we get at CML USA almost every single week. A shop owner calls Davenport and says, "I need to bend 2-inch pipe." And the first question we ask back is, "Are you sure it's pipe?"
And I'm guessing the answer is usually no.
More than half the time, what they actually have on the rack is 2-inch tube. And here's the kicker. A 2-inch pipe and a 2-inch tube are not the same size. Not even close.
Okay, hold on. 2 inches is 2 inches. How can 2-inch pipe not be 2 inches?
Welcome to the 2-inch lie. This is Bending Better with Ercolina, and today we're settling the pipe versus tube question once and for all. Because getting it wrong costs real money. Wrong tooling, wrong dies, parts that don't fit, and machines that get blamed for a measurement mistake.
All right, so start at the beginning. What actually is the difference between pipe and tube?
It comes down to what the measurement describes. Tube is measured by its actual outside diameter. 2-inch tube really is 2.00 inches across the outside. You put calipers on it, that's what you get.
Simple enough.
Pipe is different. Pipe is measured by what's called nominal pipe size, NPS, and nominal basically means in name only. A 2-inch pipe actually measures 2.375 inches on the outside.
Wait, 2-inch pipe is nearly 2 3/8 inches. Why on earth would anyone set it up that way?
History. Pipe sizing goes back well over a century to when pipe was made for one job, carrying fluid. What mattered was the inside, the bore, how much water or steam could flow through it. So the size referred roughly to the inside diameter, and the outside grew with the wall thickness needed to hold pressure.
So pipe is named for the hole and tube is named for the metal.
That's honestly the best one-line summary of it. Pipe is about what flows through it. Tube is about the structure itself. Handrails, roll cages, furniture, exhaust, frames. Which is why tube is spec'd by exact OD and wall thickness, and pipe is spec'd by nominal size and schedule.
Schedule. Okay, that's the other word that trips people up. Schedule 40, Schedule 80. What's a schedule?
Schedule is the wall thickness rating of pipe. Schedule 40 is the standard everyday wall. Schedule 80 is thicker walled, same outside diameter, remember, because fittings have to fit. So the extra wall grows inward and the hole gets smaller.
So a 2-inch Schedule 40 and a 2-inch Schedule 80 are identical on the outside?
Identical outside, 2.375. But the Schedule 80 has a noticeably thicker wall, so it's heavier, stronger, and it takes more machine to bend it. And that right there is why this matters for anyone buying a bender.
Because the machine capacity charts list both.
Right. Look at any Ercolina spec sheet, and you'll see 2 ratings. Take our top bender. It's rated for tube up to a certain OD and wall, and separately for pipe up to 2-inch Schedule 40. Those are different amounts of work for the machine. Bending 2-inch Schedule 40 pipe means bending 2.375 OD with 154 thousandths wall. That's a lot more steel than 2-inch 16-gauge tube.
So if a guy reads bends 2-inch on a spec sheet and assumes that covers his 2-inch Schedule 80 pipe,
he's going to be disappointed, and it's not the machine's fault. This is the #1 sizing mistake in the industry. It's why our capacity charts, and honestly any good manufacturer's charts, always spell out tube capacity and pipe capacity separately.
Okay, let's talk tooling. Because you said earlier that's where the money bleeds.
Tooling is where the 2-inch lie gets expensive. Rotary draw bending, which is what Ercolina benders do, uses a matched die set. The former die, the counterbend die. And those dies are machined to hug the material exactly. The groove in that die is cut for one specific outside diameter.
So a die for 2-inch tube is cut at 2.00.
And a die for 2-inch pipe is cut at 2.375. Put 2-inch pipe in a 2-inch tube die and it won't seat. Put tube in the pipe die and it's swimming in the groove. You'll get a flattened, kinked, ugly bend. We've had customers order dies over the phone, say 2-inch, and only when we ask pipe or tube do we find out they weren't sure.
What's the damage if you guess wrong? Ballpark.
A quality die set can run from several hundred to a couple $1,000s depending on size and radius. Order the wrong one, and you've got an expensive paperweight and a project sitting still while the right die gets made. That's the real cost. The schedule slip, not just the steel.
All right, so give the listener the field test. They're standing at the rack, mystery material in hand. How do they tell what they've got?
Calipers on the outside diameter. That's it. If it measures a clean round number, 1.5, 2.0, you've almost certainly got tube. If it measures something weird, 1.9, 2.375, 2.875, that's pipe, because those are the standard NPS outside diameters.
1.9, what pipe is that?
That's inch-and-a-half pipe, I know. Inch-and-a-half pipe measures 1.9 inches outside. Nobody said it was logical. It's just the standard, and it's been the standard for 100 years.
So the weird numbers are actually the tell.
The weird numbers are the tell, and then for pipe, you measure or look up the wall to get the schedule. Then when you call your machinery supplier, you can say exactly what you have. 2-inch schedule 40 pipe, or 2OD tube with a 65 thousandths wall. Now the conversation about machines and dies takes 2 minutes instead of 20.
Let's zoom out. Someone's shopping for a bender right now. What's the takeaway checklist?
3 things. First, inventory your actual material. Measure it. Don't trust what the rack label says. Second, match the machine's pipe capacity to your pipe and its tube capacity to your tube. If you bend 2-inch schedule 40 pipe, the spec you care about is pipe capacity, full stop. Third, when you order dies, always give OD and wall thickness, not just 2-inch. Any die supplier worth their salt will confirm it back to you that way.
And if somebody is still not sure what they've got?
Call us, seriously. This is what we do all day at CML USA in Davenport. 563-391-7700. Tell us what you're building and we'll tell you what you're holding and what bends it. We stock Ercolina benders, dies, and tooling right here in Iowa. So once we know your material, you're usually up and running fast.
Quick recap before we sign off. Tube is measured by its real outside diameter. What you see is what you get. Pipe is nominal. 2-inch pipe is really 2.375 outside. Schedule is pipe wall thickness. Bigger schedule, thicker wall, same outside. And dies are cut for exact OD, so know your material before you order.
Nail those 4 things and you'll never fall for the 2-inch lie.
That's it for this episode of Bending Better with Ercolina. Machines in stock in Davenport, Iowa. Call CML USA at 563-391-7700 or visit Ercolina-USA.com.
Bend better, everybody. See you next episode.